All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson talking about how if I was an Edomite, right, or if I was a heathen, and I believe that I was not an Israelite, which I don't believe that. I believe I am an Israelite, right? But if I knew that I was not an Israelite, guess what? I would not like the Israelites either. Right? And that's what this lesson is going to be about, man. Right? If we were not Israelites, we wouldn't like the Israelites either. And we would do all the exact same things that these Edomites like Vocab Malone and all these fake Christians that pretend to believe in the Bible are doing right now. Right? So we ain't surprised by none of the things that these people are doing. We understand it all. But we're on the other side. So we are against what they're doing, right? We're against what they're doing, but we understand why they're doing what they're doing because they know that they are not going to receive the things that we are going to receive, right? Psalm chapter 2 and verse 1, why did the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? And these Edomites are imagining vain things against Yahweh's elect right now, right? And their hypocrisy, is always shown, man, because in one breath, they'll say that violence is bad. In one breath, they'll say that retaliation is bad when it comes to us, right? But then in another situation where these Edomites are doing things, right? These Edomites wearing small hats are doing things pretending to be the children of Israel, then nothing gets said about the violence that they're doing, and nothing got said about the violence that they was doing for all those years prior to the violence that's taking place now, right? But when it came to us talking, then they had a lot to say. And if we were heathens and Edomites, we would do the same thing. So we understand exactly why they're doing it, because they hate our guts, right? They don't like us. They want us to not be on the earth. They want us to, the name of Israel, to be no more in remembrance, right? And these Christians these fake Christians, man, they'll try and say, oh, being an Israelite don't matter. But then as soon as something happens over to those people in the land, then all of a sudden being an Israelite matters and we have to defend these people. But when we say that we're the Israelites, then they say something completely else, completely different in real time. And it's very rare that you get to catch these Edomites being hypocrites in real time with the same scenario taking place, with two scenarios taking place at the same time to show that these people are hypocrites, man. But right now, it's happening. And it's beautiful that these Edomites are being exposed, man. Verse 2, the kings of themselves the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their band asunder and cast away their cords from us. Now, if we were Edomites, we wouldn't want Israelites to rule over us either, because our way of being would be completely against the law. So when the law says that you're not supposed to be a freak, we'd be demons because we're Edomites now. So we'd be like, nah, but that goes against everything that I'm about. So we wouldn't want to be under the law, right? Because that goes against our way. If we know that our blessing is the sword, but the law says don't kill, well, then that makes our blessing null and void. So we wouldn't want to be living in a world where the Israelites are ruling. We'd want to live in a world where we can be as big of an evil spirits as we are. Right? Verse 3, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh. Yahweh shall have them in derision, because for all the thoughts of these heathens, on all these people like Volcom Malone, what they think, it's going to fall, man. Right? That guy is not deep in any way. Now, he thinks he is because he'll make up fake terms, Messiah's heels, and all of these terms that he'll come up with out of nowhere that are not in the Bible. Oh, they're trying to do a Messiah's heel. What are you talking about? There ain't no such thing in the Bible called no Messiah's heels. You're making that stuff up. Oh, what we believe in supersession, but what scripture is that? If being an Israelite don't matter as he claims, then supersessionism would not need to be a thing. Replacement theology would not need to be a thing. Like their doctrine is really a facade to hide what they really want to do, right? Which is charagma everyone. But they've had a fake doctrine that doesn't match prophecy for a long time, that they pretend, oh yeah, we're trying to do this, but then when you examine what they're really doing, They ain't doing nothing to try and set up things in the Bible, man. They're setting up Satanism all around the world, man. That's what their real plan is. But the plan that they speak about in public is like they're pretending that they're about the scriptures, which is not the case, man. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 1. For the ungodly said, reason with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and as a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall turn into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish into in the soft air. And that's how these people think, man. And that's why most of these people, right, when it comes to thinking about Bible prophecy and saying these people don't match Bible prophecy, they're like, well, we're winning at the moment on earth. I don't care. I just want to live, as long as the world goes with my people ruling while I'm alive. I don't really care, because I don't believe in no afterlife. I don't believe in this heaven and hell stuff that these Christianity pushes out. I don't believe in that, which we don't believe in it as Israelites either. But the Christians have tried to push that out there as though it's something they believe in, but really, they're like, I don't really believe in that. But as long as people on the earth believe in it, and that makes my people be in power while I'm alive, then I don't care. And the next generation can worry about whatever happens in the future. I don't care. As long as I'm alive and my people are ruling, I'm nice with that. So I ain't going to try and rock the boat and talk about prophecy and talk about the scriptures and talk about God's laws and all that stuff, because I just want to be alive on earth while we're ruling, and then die peaceful in my bed and keep it moving. And then my grandchildren can worry about all that stuff. I don't really care what happens to them anyway. That's how they think, man. Now, are they going to admit this? No, they're not. They won't admit that. But that is how they think, right? That's how they think, man. Verse 4, and our time shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. Exactly. That's how they really think. They think, well, as long as we're ruling while I'm alive, then I don't really care about none of that other stuff. And that's what Vocab Malone thinks, right? He's seen that his people and people that look like him are ruling right now. So he's faking like he cares about Bible prophecy, right? But then when something takes place in the earth, a major event takes place that shows that what he's saying is not happening, he's like, well, forget that now. I'm going to stick to the code of Esau, which is, let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Which another way to say that same thing is, if it bleeds, I can kill it. And I don't care what about nothing to do with righteousness. If you can't take me down physically, I don't care about none of that stuff. Nothing to do with the Bible don't matter no more if you can't take me out. Oh, if you ain't got a stronger military than me, it don't really matter whether you feel oppressed or not. What are you going to do about it? That's what their spirit speaks, man. And their actions show that that's how they really feel. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed that no man cometh again. And that's what they really think. They don't care about prophecy. They don't really believe that they're going to be judged after they die. These Edomites haven't been given that thought process, right? They don't think that. And if we were Edomites, we would do exactly the same thing that they're doing right now, right? We wouldn't like Israelites. We'd be angry that we dance squared off, right? Whereas Israelites have spiraling flows of movement, right? We'd be mad that our joints don't work properly. We'd be mad that we get diseases. We'd be mad that when we come outside, we have to wear weird cream to make ourselves not burn. We'd be mad that we're uglier than the Israelites, right? We'd be mad. We'd be mad when we're walking down the street, and although we're rich and we've got loads of money, that we feel intimidated by an Israelite that's poor but got a good physique, that's wearing a string vest and a do-rag on and some grey sweat bottoms and some Jordans, and we feel intimidated by him. We'd feel mad about that. That we're a millionaire, but we feel intimidated by somebody that is barely making 25,000 a year or something like that, man. Just in New York somewhere, doing pull-ups on calisthenics in the park, in Rocker Park, man. We'd be mad. We'd hate Israelites too. So we ain't surprised that you hate. We understand why you hate us, man. We know that you wish that you had the birthright, but you demons are never getting the birthright back. And none of the stuff you're going to do is going to allow you to get the birthright. Living in the land, that does not make you the seed of the promise. Keeping Yahweh's laws, that does not make you the seed of the promise. Right? Keeping the feast days, that does not make you the seed of the promise. Because Yahweh set the thing up so that the seed of the promise was sealed in a way that he wants it to be sealed, man. No one can do anything to try and usurp the kingdom and the authority of being the seed of the promise, man. And it don't really matter what the new Christians say, because the prophecy is against you people, because the things that you've said was going to happen are not happening. The restoration of Israel is not taking place as you said it was going to. Neither is it taking place according to how the Bible says, which is more important, man. Verse 6, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. So because they've thought in their mind, we ain't going to ever have to pay for this again. And as long as we're ruling during our lifetime, let the next generation deal with all of that. Right? Now, if we can set it up so that our generation can win as well, then fair enough. But as long as we're ruling while I'm alive, I don't really care about the next generation. And that's why these Edomites will get comfortable, right, when they're on their deathbed, and they'll start releasing secret information, man. They'll start confessing their crimes because they think, well, I'm not going to have to pay for it now anyway. My life's over anyway now. So I ain't going to have to pay for that no more. Come on, therefore, verse 6, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. YOLO life. That YOLO life living. Verse 8, let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. So that's why there's jet setters, man, going all over the place, going to every country, man. There ain't nowhere that you can go in this world that you ain't going to see E. You might want to just go on a little walk one day, right? And you might be like, man, it's real quiet and peaceful. There ain't no one around. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see E out there, man. Or you might go to the park. You might just go to the park, man, right? You might go to the park and you might choose the worst part of the park just so that you can have some privacy for a bit. And Esau will see you over there in the worst part of the park with the worst shade, with the worst weather conditions, right? But because he sees you over there, he'll be like, oh, that must be the best part. And now he'll want to go over there. He'll want to go over to the worst part now because he sees you there. Or you might go to a restaurant, right? And you might want to sit in a restaurant in peace and harmony, right? And you might choose a place that's all cut off into the side in the corner. And now Esau's going to have plenty of space to go anywhere else in the restaurant, you know. But he's going to want to sit right by you. And it's only a Nando's or something like. It might only be a Nando's, or it might just be a Dixie chicken. You know what I mean? Or a chip shop, a Weatherspoons. Right? What else? What else? Morley's. What else, man? What else? Flipping any pub, any local pub, man. A chip shop, whatever little restaurant or eatery, and you'll sit off all the way to the side in the corner, and could be just a Turkish man's kebab shop, man, and you just sit off slanked off in the corner. But now Esau sees you there, and you could have chose the worst spot just so that you could have some privacy and be by yourself. You could have chose a spot that's damn near opposite the toilet. But because Esau sees you there, he's going to go there too. Because that's his nature, man. To want to be everywhere, man. Want to be everywhere that you are, man. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Verse 9. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion and our lot is this. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor revenge the ancient grey hairs of the age. Let us just bully everyone. Let us bully everyone, man. Right? Let us bother people that talk about righteousness, right, and oppress them. Let us bully whoever we want to bully, right, and just brutalize everyone on the earth. Because with the ways that they are, are against how we are. And it makes me feel uncomfortable that these people believe in a God that's higher than me, because I don't believe that there's no one higher than me. Because when I test it out and I test my sword against any of these things that these people call gods, I found my sword to be the winner 100 times out of 100, right? But on that 101st time, you Edomites are going to lose, man. There's going to come a time where you're going to try that sword and it's not going to work no more. And that's spoken of in Isaiah 14. He that smote the people in wrath is now suffering, and no one hindereth. In fact, because I mentioned that prophecy, and that's a big scripture, I'm going to show that. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and unhindered, because there's going to come a time where you Edomites are no longer going to be able to get away with the stuff that you get away with, man. And I know you Edomites, man. I know what you devils are about, man. I know some of the ways that you try and test the waters to try and see what your standing in the world is. And here's a few scenarios what you devils try, man. You try and be a Karen in public and try and see how much you can get away with, right? You try and touch people, bang into them. You try and be rude in public to try and just see if you still got it. You try and see if you're trustworthy when you go to the supermarket, and see if you can be able to be trustworthy to steal from shops and people believe your lies. You try and, when you're walking down the street, not move out of the way and see if people are going to walk out of your way. You do all of these things, man. You try and be disrespectful to the so-called black woman, or fake nice in public, or try and invade people's public space when you're in public, and try and butt into conversation with people when you're in public to see if people want to talk to you. All of these things to try and see what your standing is in the rulership, man. You try these things. You try all of this stuff. You try and spaz out on the train and kick up a fuss to try and see if you can still get away with things. You try and test your waters with the police to see if the Edomite privilege is still working. But now when you look at it these days, when you look at any of these crime channels, it's starting to be exposed, all the things that you people are doing, man. Because the power of your rule is losing, and that's why right now the small hats are up in awe, playing victim, right? They're playing victim, and they ain't saying, you know what, this is war. Everyone dies during a time of war. They're saying, nah, it's crazy what's happening to us, and that this is the worst thing that's happened to us in the last 50 years. But we can go as Israelites, as the real Israelites, we can go through every last decade and keep showing things that have been happening to us since the Atlantic slave trade. We can keep showing things that have been happening to us to show that we're oppressed. We can keep showing. You can't be oppressed and you have a whole country that you can go to. You can't be oppressed, and as soon as people do things to you, countries send aircraft carriers to defend your honor and say, as long as America's around, you're never going to be alone. There ain't no one doing that for us. There ain't no one doing that for us, man. But anyway, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 11, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. That's how he thinks. And if we were Edomites, that's the same way we'd think. We'd be walking around thinking we're Clint Eastwood, right? Thinking that we're John Wick. And as long as we're nice with the sword, we ain't going to care about none of that I'm oppressed stuff. We ain't going to care about, oh, you want reparations? Come and get them. That's how we'd think. Or you want to be repaired? Or you want to be healed? Or you want to be out of slavery? Come then. Come try test. That's how we'd think, man. But we'd be saying it in that weird Edomite nasally voice. We'd be like, well, if we'd assess the nation that's complaining about what we're doing to them. We'd be like, okay, so these African Americans are complaining about what we're doing to them. Well, let's look at their army. They don't have one. Let's look at what industries they own. They don't own any. Let's look at what we provide for them. Well, they have to go to us for the want of all things. Let's look at all the ways that we use them. We use them in every way possible. So what do we say our verdict is? We're not going to listen to what you're going to say. We're not going to help you. We're not going to change up how we're treating you, right? And in fact, you're lucky that we're treating you like this. And we're setting up ways to try and treat you worse. Because the way how we see it is, the reason why you're complaining is because you're getting a bit too lazy and you've got too much free time in your hands. Maybe some extra work will stop you from complaining. That's how they think, man. And if you're under any illusions that that's not how they think, well, you're lost. Simple as that, man. And all of you so-called black people that hang around with Vocab Malone and hang around with people like that, and you trust these people, you are lost, man. Right? And if it was in the Atlantic slave trade, right, 400 years ago, you would be the kind of jakes that would give us a blade with the screws missing, or would snitch talking about massa. They're about to do a slave revolt on you, massa. You'd be them kind of ones, man. You'd be them what's it called, man? Uncle Ruckus type mans and type women snitching it off. Snitching. You'll be the kind of ones that when we run away because we don't want to be in captivity no more, you'd run us down with your high stamina ass, chase us down, Usain Bolt speeds, right? Chase us down like Tyson Gay, chase us down like Asafa Powell, chase us down like Linford Christie, Dwayne Chambers, and you'd pin us down on the ground, right? So that Esau could capture us again. Like Ken Norton did in that one movie, man. You'd hunt us down and capture us, and so that your master could pat you on the head and say, good boy or good girl, man. Here's some chitlins, an extra portion of chitlins, man. Here you go. That's what all you people would do. That's what you'd do, man. You wouldn't just say, you know what, let me just not say nothing. And if they win, fair enough. You would sell us out, man. And there's one demon Israelite out there. He's not even an Israelite, man, but he's so-called black man. I ain't gonna give him the honor of being called an Israelite, that runs around with a sign all the time talking about Jesus saves, which I don't even like saying that J word, man. But he's going around with that sign saying Jesus saves. And one of them Sakari guys asked him, and they said, if it was in the Atlantic slave trade, right, and you knew that we was gonna do a slave revolt, would you tell? And he said, I would tell. So even in his own mouth, he confessed it. He said, I would tell. And you want to know why he said that? Because back in that time, he was one of them same spirits that was telling during that time, man. You Israelites are sick in the head, you 2/3. You're lost. And you hate us more than you hate your enemy. You hate us for hating Esau. And if you see us asking Esau a question that he can't answer and that he's getting cut to the soul, you're stepping in front of them and in front of us because they're getting cut. Like if we was to say to one of these Edomites, yeah, okay, you believe in hell, right? Okay, so are your ancestors burning in hell for what they did during the Atlantic slave trade? And they start getting cut by that. Some of you Israelites would step in front of us, you 2/3, you'd step in front of us and say, stop, leave them alone. Mate, you're playing defense for them, bro. You're there standing in front of them like a flipping, what's it called in basketball, man? I can't even remember, man. A post. Is it a post? When they cover their loins and stand in front of them like a wall and that. You're doing that for Esau, man. Every time they're under pressure, you idiots step in and try and save them, but they don't like you. Like, we understand why Esau don't like us. But why you Israelites have got a problem with being Israelites is stupid. Wouldn't you want to hear something that makes you not have to bow down anymore? Or do you like bowing down? Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Because if not, why is he spoiled, man? And a lot of you 2/3 spoiled. Even you ones that think that you're street lifing it up. You're COONs too, man. You're raccoons as well. Verse 13. In fact, verse 12. Let us lie in wait for the righteous because he is not for our turn and he is clean, contrary to our doing. So these Edomites, they know that their way they're living is wicked. Vocab Malone knows that he's a demon. right? He knows you don't really believe in the scriptures. It's just you 2/3 that hang around with him. You're the ones that are disillusioned. All you cherry loves, you big, big cherry love, man. She's a demon too, man. I bet she ain't got no problem with what's going on over there neither. But got a whole bunch of 12-hour streams, to talk about Israelites. 12 9-hour streams, man. Just flapping her big gums, running her mouth. But she was doing videos on Israelites talking about these, whispering under her voice, talking about these people in all your neighborhoods and all of this. But ain't got nothing to say about them other people, man. Ain't got nothing to say, I bet. And then you people really think that you're gonna, like, if we end up winning, which we are gonna, you really think you're getting a joint heirship with us? We ain't gonna want you as part of the kingdom, man. We ain't gonna want you around us. And Esau don't want you around him neither. That's the thing. Esau's disgusted by you sellouts as well. Because the way how he sees it is, well, if they can't even be found trustworthy on their own people, then how am I going to trust them? I'm just going to use them to destroy their own people. And once their people are destroyed, I'm going to destroy them. That's how they do. But you clowns don't understand that. He's clean, contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of God, and calleth himself the child of the Lord. And that's why these Edomites are mad that we're doing, man. They're mad that we are professing to have the knowledge of the Lord, and that the world is changing more according to what we're saying than it's changing to what they're saying. Because there was a time when Trump was president, right? And he was talking about he's going to build a third temple and all that. And these people was getting gassed up talking about, yeah. It's about to be prophecy time. When it don't even say nowhere in the Bible that there's going to be a third temple being built. It says there ain't going to be no temple for the Israelites of the temple, ultimately, it says. And if we look at what's happening in the world right now, it's clear that that was never going to happen. Because it's getting even worse than there's destruction taking place over there rather than building. Which sounds more like what Yahweh promised to do to Esau. They will build, but I will throw down, and they shall call him the border of wickedness. Verse 14, he was made to reprove our thoughts. And that's why these Christians are mad, man, because everything that they say, according to the Bible, we've pretty much read all of it. We've heard and understood all their doctrine, and we found that it's the complete opposite in most cases on the things that they say. They say God loves everybody, but it turns out that there's a whole nation that was made purely for God to hate them. 100% of the Edomites was all made to be hated. There's not one Edomite that Yahweh loves. But they've said a complete opposite thing. They've said the law is done away with. But the new covenant says that the law is involved. And they're very pivotal in that. They've said that, oh, you're not supposed to put your enemies in slavery, but the Bible says that the Israelites are going to put their enemies in slavery. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and put them into their own land. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Meaning that because you put me in slavery, I'm putting you in that. But they got a problem with that because that's reproving their thoughts. He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are another fashion. So when they look at us, they're like, man, they live in complete opposite to us. And that's why Israelites might just be minding their own business, eating steak without the blood in there in a park. And then the Edomite will come over, oh, you don't have a permit for that. Huh? Move, man. Go away. You know what I mean? Like, you Edomites are just annoying, man. You're just annoying. You just be minding your business in a bar. You could just be minding your business in a bar type area, which I ain't going to no bars, but I'm just saying that you could just be minding your own business in a bar, and then the Edomite will come over drunk as hell, trying to talk to you, and you'll be like, go away. You'll be thinking, go away, get lost, man. The Israelite didn't come out there that day to speak to your weird ass. Go away. You might be on a train, minding your own business with your headphones on, and the Edomite sits down on the train next to you, turns their whole body 90 degrees, so that their legs are facing you, trying to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, they're just weird, bruv. I don't know why you Edomites really think that we want to talk to you, or that we want to trust you, or that we trust you. Why should we trust you? When has it ever been a good idea for so-called black people, Latinos or Native Americans, to trust Caucasians, so-called Caucasians, man? When has it ever been a good idea? When? You can't answer that. You could never answer that. Verse 15, he is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's, his ways are of another fashion. And that's why sometime when you're out in public, right, you just catch an Edomite looking at you with hate. And then as soon as you look at them, right, they stumble all over the place. They might fall over damn near, man. Or they might blink fast and start looking up into the sky, or frazzle and shiver or goes up their spine, man. And then they give you that fake smile, man, where they push their two lips together and hide their lips and then do that fake smile. Because they're like, damn, I think he knows that I hate his guts. Let me get the hell out of here. You know? And people that are switched on, they know exactly the look I'm talking about. That fake look, man, that they give you. Like, oh, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not the villain. I'm a good person. I'm good. No, you're not. No, you're not good. Let me say this, man. Let me say this. You Edomites are not the good guys of this story. Right? You so-called Caucasians are not the good guy in the story of the history of the earth. You're the bad guy. You're the oppressor. You're the one that we need salvation from. And the devil that you told us about, and I'm copying this line from what Muhammad Ali said. Muhammad Ali said this on an interview on the TV, man. The devil that you told us to be worried about, you've done worse to us than that. You've done worse to us than the devil that you tried to use the Bible to try and explain Christianity's talking about. You've did worse to us. Because we ain't saw no evidence of people burning in hell forever. But we've saw all the things that you've did to us, though. Right? You're worse than the devil that you've told us about that's burning everyone forever. You're worse. Because the devil that you're saying is burning everyone in hell forever is at least burning all those people in hell forever according to your fake belief, which don't exist. But he's at least doing that stuff because the people have did something wrong in God's eyes. But what's the reason why you people are doing all the things that you're doing to everyone that's trying to be nice with you? That's trying to be cool with you. Verse 16, where I esteemed of him as counterfeits. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm seeing through you Edomites right now and seeing that you're liars. All the things you say are lies. Everything you come with is a lie. You don't love the Lord. You don't believe in the Bible, right? You love wickedness. You love just being right. You want to be wrong and be right. You want to be able to say 5 times 5 is whatever I say it is. And everyone goes, you know what? I never looked at it that way before. Yeah, that's right. And that's why right now, there's people when you say to them, how many genders are they? Well, it's a spectrum at the end of the day. It's a spectrum. No, it's not a spectrum. It's not a spectrum, fam. Or you say to them, what's a woman? Well, I think that there's not really any speculative transmission of what a human could be at the end of the day. We're all just people at the end of the day. We're all just people at the end of the day. We're all people. Oh, really? Oh, really? Because let someone attack you and you're going to become real critical of descriptions then, ain't you? He was 6'2", male. You know what I mean? You're going to know everything about gender. Then you ain't going to say, well, he didn't stop to tell me his pronouns at the end of the day, so I don't know. I don't know what it was at the end of the day. You ain't going to say that. And if the officer's there talking about, well, was it a man or was it a woman? Well, what is a woman, officer? Are you assuming their gender? You ain't going to say none of that goofy stuff then. You're going to want to know exactly, you're going to be able to see exactly what it was that was happening then. So don't try to play dumb. Don't try it, man. Don't try it. Verse 16, where I esteemed of him as counterfeits, he abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. Because I don't want to think like that. I would never want my mind to not know such a basic thing as how many genders there are. That would mean I've got some high level spirits on me, man. It's obvious that there's two genders, male and female, man and woman, boy and girl. Yeah? Two. Balance. A false balance is abomination unto Yahweh. Therefore, he made two genders, right? He made hot and cold. He made good and he made bad. He made love and he made hate. He made peace and he made war. Yeah? He made short. He made tall. He made skinny. He made fat. He made ugly. He made beautiful. But you people are trying to talk about there's something else in between there. There's a grey area that no one really speaks about, actually. Nah, fam. Bon you and that grey area, man. He pronounced of the end of the just to be blessed and make of his boast that Yahweh is his father. And we do believe that Yahweh is our father, man. And we also believe that you people are going to come for us and attack us just for us believing things like this. You can be seen as an enemy to this world for something as simple as saying there's two genders. No, there's not, you bigot. What you mean? There is two, fam. Everyone that was born had a mom and a dad, and there's not no one on this earth that didn't have a mom and a dad to be born. So you trying to say? Yeah, I'm saying it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You weirdos, man. If you want to run around with septum nose rings and long ass eardrums, be my guest. but you know what? We don't have to be on that. We don't have to be about that with them long eardrums and them septum nose ring, man, and horns hanging out your head. We don't have to be on that if we don't want to. Yeah? Just like how we ain't begging you people to believe in the scriptures. Don't believe in it then. The reason why you don't believe it anyway is because Yahweh don't want you to believe in it. It's not because you're just such a rebel and you rejected the Lord. Like Yahweh was just desperate for you, wanting you. And he was like, nah. He tried to holler at me one time. You know, that's like you women try and do in the world, right? Oh, he tried to holler at me one time, but I didn't want him. Nah. Yahweh never wanted you. Yahweh rejected you before you was ever born. No one on this earth rejected Yahweh. And there ain't no one that Yahweh wants that can reject him neither. Because all of the elect are going to repent whether they want to or not. People are funny, man. Verse 17, let us see if his words be true. Let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. And that's why they've heard us say that, okay, we believe that we're going to be faced with a karagma. And they're in the process of proving that. They're in the process of testing that philosophy. They're like, okay, let's see that. They're getting angry and they're like, you know what? They think that Yahweh will come and save them from the heavens if we start putting them in guillotines. Well, you know what? I want to see who my maker is too. I want to see who this person is that made me be hated and that made me an Edomite. So I'm going to try and do things to cause for him to show himself, because I'm starting to not believe that what they're saying is true. And I like to do experiments. So I'm going to experiment to see if I start harming these Israelites, right? If Yahweh will show himself and send his son Yahweh Shai. And guess what? When he does show himself, they're going to know that he's there. Watch. They're going to make Yahweh show himself and they're going to know exactly who it is when this takes place, man. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 13, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and great men, and rich men, and chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. And this is talking about specific ones of the elite class of Esau and those in the know. And said unto the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So they're going out of their way to try and see, because everyone on this earth wants to see a miracle, man. They want to see something glorious. They want to see evidence of something greater than themselves, right? But Esau does it in an arrogant way, because he's like, there ain't nothing greater than me. So I'm going to just go out of my way to prove that there ain't nothing greater than me. But when he sees what he's going to see, because they believe in heavenly things, but when they see what they've been asking for, then they're going to bug out, man. And they're going to be scared. Because in their arrogance, they went out of their way to try and prove that what we're saying ain't true. But all it's going to do is prove that it is true. Verse 17, let's see if his words be true. So they want to see. They're like, okay, they're saying that all these things has to happen in order for their Messiah, Yahushua, to come back. Let's see then. Let's see if it's true. So we're in the process of doing that Karagma thing anyway, right? And we're gonna be taking all of you guys, the ones that we can get our hands on, and we're gonna put you in these guillotines. And they're gonna grow arrogance in thinking that we knew it weren't true, because certain of the people's heads are gonna come off of the elect. So in their mind, when that's happening, they're gonna be like, see, it don't seem like no defense is coming to help. Don't seem like nothing's happening. Seems like our sword is the law of justice. Our strength is the law of justice, and that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth, just like it's happened with every other time. That's what they're going to think. But then something's going to happen, man. And they're going to see Yahushua. All the time and all this stuff that I'm talking about is going to be happening, right? War is going to be taking place at that time. World war. And that goes into 2 Ezra the 13th chapter, which these Christians try and say ain't real, but who cares what they say? They don't get to tell us what's real, you know. They don't get to tell us nothing when it comes to the Bible. They don't get to say, oh, we've said that's not canonized, so it's not, we don't care what you say. We're saying it is. And if it takes place and it happens, then who was right? If the things that we read from the Apocrypha happen, then obviously it is canon, isn't it? Obviously it is valid. Verse 18. For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Isn't that what I just said? They're going to try and use high level aggression to the Israelites in order to prove that he don't exist, right? Or to see. They're like, let's see then. Let's see if it's real. That's what they want to do. Because Dev took it as a challenge. They're like, okay, so you're challenging my sword. You're saying that if I do this, that you're going to do this. Okay, let's see. And they already did it with Yahushua, these Edomites, man. And after Yahushua died, they found out, yes, he was the Son of God. And now he's immortal. So he can't die no. He ain't going to die no more, man. Death for him has been conquered already. He's already the last enemy that should be destroyed is death. He's already destroyed death for himself. And when he changes us so that we're like unto his glorious body, then they've destroyed it for us too. Verse 19, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. And they're going to try and give us a shame. They did it to Yahushua, but they're going to do it to us too. If they're anyone that they can get their hands on in that time. And they're going to make the person look dry. We're going to be, let me try and explain to you the kind of way that you're going to look when you're in that guillotine, man. You might have two black eyes, man. You might have black eyes. You might have broken ribs. You might stink of urine and poo, feces. Your lips are gonna be dry. If you're a brother that can't grow hair like myself properly, right? Your hairline's gonna be receded out, right? We're gonna look a mess in that guillotine, man. And then that guillotine's gonna swing down. Your head's gonna be removed. Your spirit's gonna leave out your body, and they're gonna say, "See, we gave him a shameful death." That's what the kind of things they're going to think they're going to be able to do to people, man. You might have a broken ribs in that time. All kind of stuff, man. Just so that they can try and embarrass God's chosen. Because they know that they're not the Israelites. They know that for damn sure. And it sounds brutal because it is brutal. But then the kingdom in balance to all the things that's going to happen that are very evil, the kingdom in balance to that is going to be extremely beautiful, man. Extremely. And let me get this, verse 21. Such things did they imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. So in some cases they're going to get away with doing that, but in the grand scheme of things they've been deceived, because all that process of what they're going to do and all the evil that they're going to do, they're going to have to be paid back for that. So guys like Vocab Malone right now that are doing all the things that he's doing, right? Making up terms, right? Making up things, being a hypocrite. He thinks that he's doing the right thing right now. But when he ends up seeing what the actual end result of that is, just like Haman, he ain't going to like it. He ain't going to like when he actually ends up seeing what all of the fruits of his labor have actually been, man. And all of the other Edomites that are like him are not going to like it neither. And all of the Israelites that have joined on with him and on the belief of that they have, they're going to be cut to the heart too, man. They're going to be cut to the soul, man. Because they're going to know that they was a disgusting Menelaus type Israelite, man. Which Menelaus, when you read the book of Maccabees, he was a demon, man. He was a real scumbag. A real wretch of an Israelite, man. Such things did they imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. And I'm going to say this again. If we were Edomites, but let me not even throw everyone else into it, man. If I was an Edomite, I would think exactly the same way as what you Edomites think, man. So we understand exactly why you're doing everything you're doing, but you're still going to lose, though. We understand that this is the only path you've been given, because the righteous way is not for you. Your way was the sword. Our way to receive the kingdom is through righteousness. It's the Israelite that cannot rule by the sword. You Edomites have been given a very short time. When you drop the time of rulership into the realm of infinity, you haven't been given nothing really. Right? There's nothing that you can put into infinity that doesn't drink it up. You Edomites haven't really been given nothing in terms of rulership, man. Our kingdom's forever. You've had, if you combine up all the kingdoms that you've had maybe a couple of thousand, maybe 1,000 and a bit years, maybe if that, of rulership. If we combine all the Edomite kingdoms, like not much, man. But the Israelites are going to get forever. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not. Neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern the reward for blameless souls, because they don't think that, oh, by doing the right thing, you get anything, man. Just like Cain. For God created man to be mortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. So they didn't consider that a man's supposed to actually be alive forever. Whereas the Israelites, we have considered that. We want to be alive and ruling forever. We don't want our rule to have an end. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. And that's why you Israelites that fall after Esau, man, you perish. And that's why even we die, because we've sinned too. But we're hoping to be immortal, man, under that new covenant, man. But this was just a video, just thinking about that. If we were Edom, let me not even say that again, man. If I was an Edomite, I would hate Israelites too. I wouldn't like them, right? So we understand why you don't like us, man. You're supposed to do that. You're not doing nothing that you're not supposed to do. You've been made for this. And you ain't going to be able to do nothing else outside of it. It's not possible for you to. And that's why all the predictions that we say about you Edomites, that Israelites say about you Edomites, you're doing all of them. And you're going to try and corrugate everyone. You're going to try and micro-hip the whole world. That is what you're definitely going to try and do. We know this. And that is going to be the cause of why you're going to be destroyed. You're going to make World War III. You're going to do all of these things. But that is going to be the cause of your destruction. Now, we already know that you're going to try and not believe that and try and do it anyway. And we're going to see what's going to happen. We know that your curiosity is going to make you think, nah, this ain't going to happen. Well, do it then. You're going to have to do it anyway. You're being made to do it. Yahweh's making you do it, man. Now I'm going to end the lesson there. We wouldn't like Israelites either if we were Edomites. Right? We wouldn't either, man. Shalom.